Hello, I'm Barbara Groves, and I have the privilege of being the president of the Worcester Institute for Senior Education, WISE as we fondly call it. Over 20 years ago, a group of retiring individuals decided they wanted more than a rocking chair for their retirement, so founded the Worcester Institute for Senior Education. Assumption College gave us space and support and continues to do so, along with several other venues in the Worcester community. WISE is a member-run organization, and you would have the opportunity to serve the organization on committee work such as curriculum, travel, special events, communications, and we welcome and would welcome your interest and participation in WISE.
The concept of learning in retirement was one whose day had come. And from that first open house where we introduced the programs that we were talking about, the first membership was 90 members. Over the years, that has grown to approximately 400 members. Why has it grown? Because there obviously was a need in the community.
But this concept of a Learning Retirement Institute appealed to me because it took the lifelong learning concept even further. And this was truly learning for pure pleasure and the enjoyment itself. So at that point, I put together and I did some research and put together a proposal for Assumption College to start an institute on campus.
And I was kind of fortunate that I was working in the continuing ed office as a secretary at that time. And the director, which was housed in my office, was in need of secretarial support for WISE. So being in the right place at the right time, I did get the job. And I've been very happy with it. I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of new friends and enjoy their company and their enthusiasm and energy for the program.
And when I heard it, I said, that's for me. So a couple of days later, I was going past Assumption College with my friend Betty Deese, and I approached her about starting classes, and she was as enthusiastic as I was about it. And we were off and running. And the only thing I regret is we weren't here for the first year, because we've taken classes ever since. That's been great. Probably the best thing about the classes is the caliber of the people who are teaching them. And the caliber of people that you're associating with who are taking the classes. They're my kind of people, because what bright people teaching and taking courses. It's marvelous.
In fact, many of the older students have read the material before. For example, in teaching Walden and in teaching the Scarlet Letter, I would say in 80 or 90% of my students had already read them, but years ago. So the experience now is not becoming familiar with the text, but discovering something new in the text. That's something more mature. The Scarlet Letter isn't just a soap opera. Now it becomes a study, if you will, in the role of the creative mind in a society that discourages creativity. And something about Walden, where Thoreau says that, I'm not doing this for my sake. Don't do what I do it for your sake. Follow your own star, if you will. Discover what it is and follow it. Because by the time you copy me here at Walden, I'll probably have gone somewhere else. I'm doing something else. He said it makes that quite clear in Walden. And this, I think, is illuminating for older students. Thoreau says, don't follow your father and mother. Don't follow society. Do your own thing.
I have a wonderful story where we were doing the films of 1939, and the students were really being very reminiscent. And one of the students said, my husband proposed to me in the middle of this movie. So it was a wonderful opportunity for people to dig back into their past and at the same time appreciate something that's very American. So I think it's that wonderful awareness that the students bring to the classroom. They're alive, they're so energized, and I think that, again, the sageness that they bring, it's wonderful that their age has allowed them freedom to be who they are. It's allowed them to think and put a lot of the connections together as seasoned professionals. They bring their experiences and they relate those, especially when we start talking in film about attitudes or personal relationships that are established. This whole visual literacy of looking at film and trying to get meaning from what we're watching. Boy, they're really up to task, and they bring everything that they've learned, everything that they've experienced right to that moment, and it's very exhilarating. So the fun of teaching in this is that we become lifelong learners, that as the facilitators of the classes, we are continually learning, not just our craft, but the things that interest us. So I think we become, probably more interesting people.
I have been a group leader and I teach the courses. And I'd like to say I don't teach the courses, I facilitate the courses, because the elder learners are so enthusiastic and so involved that they inspire me as a teacher. They do things like tell you the class is good. They applaud at the end of a session or the end of a 5-week session. And they inspire my teaching so that I go back to the undergraduates more motivated to teach. Undergraduates are not as enthusiastic about the learning process sometimes. So the elders contribute to the life of the teaching in the college from my perspective. Another way that they have been a gift to the college is in each of my classes I have now found ways to bring in elders to speak about their lives and their history. So sometimes it's a kind of life review that they bring to class, sometimes it's an oral history. They've come to my family and society class and talked about what marriage is like, what widowhood is like, what dealing with long-term illness, with romance in late life, with dating in late life. They've given students a perspective that an 18 to 22-year-old just does not have on the fact that everything isn't going to happen in the next few years. They often say to me, the undergraduate students, this has been the best class that we have had. The elders come to my aging and society class and talk about retirement and activity, and frankly, they wear most of the students and myself out because they are so involved with life and activity. It makes you want to retire just so you can do all the interesting things. So again, in teaching, in being subjects for class, and in bringing celebration of aging, I would say are the big gifts of WISE. I personally cannot imagine this college without WISE.
What happened in our case was that because Worcester is so rich with academic and cultural resources, we found that when we would think up a course, immediately a name would come to mind of somebody at one of the local colleges, or at the Art Museum, or at the Natural History Museum, or at the American Antiquarian Society. And so what happened was we ended up with a blend of members leading courses and professionals from the community leading courses. It's been a very happy compromise.
Discussion is going to take a certain course that I couldn't predict. That there'll be questions that will not be mine, there will be interests that will not be what I wanted to focus on, and I have to leave myself open as I'm learning to do more and more to the thread of a discussion that is going to be in the hands of the participants who have their own interests and concerns. Sometimes I walk out of a WISE class and it seems that we have, for the better part of 90 minutes, had a very interesting and productive digression that I didn't plan on, but which I was challenged to deal with, and also very, very often learn a great deal from those conversations that are more open-ended in the WISE program than they are elsewhere.
Our courses are just 5 weeks. We meet once a week for an hour and a half. Sometimes we've had 10-week courses, and there are no papers required, no exams given, but people, if the course requires reading, They participate very enthusiastically, doing the reading, entering discussion, asking lots of questions.
Well, special events is very popular. The WISE students love special events. They're always coming up with ideas. We try to plan the program so that it's amenable to everyone. We had a young child prodigy, 9-year-old piano man, who entertained us for an hour and a half, and he was tremendous. That was very popular. We sometimes have lectures. We go to theater. We've been at a theater, been to see the King and I at Providence Performing Arts Theater. We had a wonderful holiday program with the Men of Song, and we had a delightful luncheon, and it was everyone was very happy with that. So we try to vary our programs. The events committee is an extension of our program. It gives them that opportunity to broaden their horizons.
I think it's great to be on a college campus with all its vitality and all its activity. For those of us that have, many of us maybe haven't been around a college campus for many years. And so it's a very great experience to be in with all these young people who are often very friendly with the seniors who are on campus. All of the facilities are open to us, are available to us. Every member, all you have to have is your WISE card, and you can participate in any activity on the campus.
There are some hidden benefits as well to being a member of an organization such as WISE. I think for older people, this provides them an opportunity at this point in their lives for personal growth, for self-esteem, for an opportunity to contribute back. And it's really an empowering experience because this type of a learning program is not something that is dictated by the college, but it's a program that they actually run themselves. They are the ones that set up the courses, who find group leaders to teach these courses, who these people write their own newsletter, they sponsor and run their own trips and all their activities. And I think this is an opportunity for older people to remain active in their lives. It's something that many of them may not have thought they would be doing at this point in their lives. And they could go to another program at another college for courses. They could even sign up for our Assumption College courses. But this type of a program really gives them the ability to contribute. And I find that they seem to be empowered by this. So what I love most about a program like WISE, a Learning Retirement Institute, is it really is a showcase for the power of seniors.
I'd recommend these classes to anyone and everyone. Don't sit back and vegetate. Get out there and get going. Use your brain. It's not enough to exercise for your body, but you have to exercise your mind. And I hope I'm doing that.
I'm going to be 88 very shortly. And I was in business for many years, and I've been retired for about 27 years now. And the most enjoyment I got out of my whole life, besides my family, is having the opportunity to do all these things that I've been doing ever since I've been retired. And if I can't imagine what I'd be doing if it weren't for the WISE program, because it stimulates, you have the classes to go to, you have the special events, you have the travel, and I suggest to everybody that they participate in the WISE program because there are so many different opportunities that can help you keep young.
The Worcester Institute for Senior Education has been an integral part of the Assumption community for the last 2 decades. We are very proud to be the home of WISE because the members of WISE help us to live out our mission in a more concrete way. Our mission is to educate students to be lifelong learners. And what better way for our students to actually see what lifelong learning means than through interacting with the members of WISE, whether in classrooms, Taylor Dining Hall, or walking across campus. The WISE program helps our senior citizens in this community continue their educational journey through the exciting courses they take and their interaction with the diversity of the membership. In the similar way, our students are able to engage in conversations with members of WISE and to learn from their experiences. And in this way, WISE enriches our community. We are very, very happy to be celebrating the 20th anniversary of WISE this year, and we anticipate many more decades of collaboration with the WISE program and welcoming its members to be part of the Assumption family.